Welcome to Whiskey One, the channel for the novice, the curious, and the connoisseur. I'm Whiskey One, and again we got Daniel Warren from the Albuquerque Whiskey Society. Welcome, and good to see you back again.
Thanks Israel. Thanks for having me. We're looking forward to this tasting.
Yeah, so this is now the new bar. So this is the first time Daniel's been able to come by, check out the new setup, and shoot a video together in the new studio. So today, as you might expect, this is going to be a big one. And if you don't know anything about Weller bourbon, you're going to know by the end of this video. But before we get into that, I definitely want to start off by saying welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, checking us out. And if you're a return visitor and a subscriber, we want to say thank you. Thanks for showing us all the love, and we appreciate you guys sticking around and checking us out once again. All right, so getting into the Weller. And I've never actually tasted the majority. We got C.Y.P.B, Full Proof, the 107, the 12-year, the Special Reserve, and what we like to call the pumpkin spice of Weller. Just kidding. It's the single barrel. These are hard to find. Some of them are a lot easier to get, like the Special Reserve. You might easily see that on the shelf from time to time. You may be lucky enough to get the 107.
So for these, I paid pretty much retail for all of them, with the exception of the Full Proof. I paid a little above retail, not much. Actually, I had to bring that one back from California, and it's actually a barrel pick. Okay. So from a store I frequent in California, he sold me two. The first one disappeared pretty quickly, and so this is the one that we just uncorked prior to this. But everything else I've gotten here locally based on relationships, and yeah, I love the Weller line.
Well, so we did not pour these, but as they're sitting here in the glass, you're probably wondering why didn't we pour these in front of the camera. My wife actually put stickers on the very bottom, so these are all blind. And the reason for that was we wanted to be able to pick out our ranking from 1 through 6, completely blind, not really knowing which one was which. Now you might have a leg up as far as being able to like identify what's what, because I've only picked out, I've only tasted the Special Reserve and the 107, but yeah, I mean, this will be a pretty good experience. Not only do I get to taste all these like, all in one shot, but I get to rank them, and so I'm really looking forward to that. So, and thank you, by the way.
You're welcome. Thank you
for bringing these. All right, so hopefully you guys get to enjoy this video, and if you have any of these, you get to sort of taste these with us. Now, I'll be putting in the video like what we're tasting, what we're nosing ahead of time. We don't know, but as I go back and I edit, you guys will be able to follow along with us to see what we're actually enjoying. So let's start off from the right. We both have the same whiskeys as far as what was poured. Again, my wife poured these blind, but let's go ahead and nose these and get going.
I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time.
Yeah, it's not every day you get to visit somebody or even get time to like share all these Wellers. Yeah,
so I told Israel, I said, we need to do the Weller lineup and do them blind because my C.Y.P.B bottle was disappearing because it's one of my wife's favorites. And so she made me promise I would bring some home.
Yeah.
So we still have a little bit left.
So what are you getting on the nose?
Oh, good question.
I think I might know what this is because it does feel familiar.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, they're all Weller, so they're all going to be pretty familiar in aromas. There's some sweetness in there.
Yeah, I'm getting like brown sugar, just a touch of citrus. Vanilla. I think this is really vanilla forward.
Yep.
But like, true to weeded bourbons, I'm not getting like a very high spice to it. It's very soft, delicate, more delicate than most bourbons.
A lot of times in wheat, I also get a lot of cherry, but not necessarily in this one.
Yeah. For weeded bourbons or bourbons in general, you tend to get like a dark cherry note to it and somewhat of an earthy cherry. This is not that. I'm not getting that either on this one anyway. I do remember that the 107 has a good amount of cherry to it.
I haven't drank 107 or Special Reserve in a long time, so
Okay.
actually I haven't drank any of these in a long time.
Wow. So I also get a little bit like a very light note of black tea. It's not super floral like other bourbons where they have like a high rye mash bill. Again, this feels soft. It feels very sweet.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely getting like
sweetness,
almost like on the verge of creme brulee or something like that. So that's the first one. I'm ready for the second. We're just going to nose these at first so we don't shoot our palate.
That one seems much lighter
Very
on the nose.
Yep.
Like I'm struggling to get the aroma out of it.
Yeah.
That kind of lets me know what this one might be.
Yeah, that one's a lot more flavor up front.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to kind of coax the aroma out of here, so I'm just kind of giving this glass a nice little light roll just to get the whiskey to coat the inside and maybe bring out some flavors, sort of tease them out.
Sometimes when I give it a hard swirl, I'll blow across the glass
To
blow that out. I've done that.
Okay.
I'll give it a hard swirl and I'll just kind of blow across it to kind of blow out that astringentness to help open it up.
Yeah.
I'm getting like orchard fruits.
I get a lot of the same.
Yeah.
It's just very subtle
It's
and
much more subtle.
Yeah.
I would guess lower proof.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the proofs range from 90 up to I think 114.
Yes.
I think
this
on
is
the
a
full
114. Let me double check. That is absolutely correct. That is 114.
Third one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, more vanilla.
Yes, like almost like a vanilla bean.
Uh-huh.
Remember when you were over the house and we were smelling that vanilla bean container?
Yes.
That's what just came back to my memory.
Yeah, we also recently did an ice cream and whiskey pairing, which we had a chance to really get like vanilla bean flavor, right? To go with our whiskey and bourbons and whatnot.
This one's sweet. I think I might know what this one is too.
And you know what? It's funny because when I think, or when I have an idea what I think or conceptualize as a wheated bourbon, that's what this is. It has a wheat grain nose to it.
Yeah, it does.
Like a French loaf of bread, like a French bread loaf that's been freshly baked.
Freshly baked.
But super vanilla forward.
And it's like you're down the hall and smelling it. Not in the kitchen.
Yep.
It's not that strong, but you're down the hall and you can smell that fresh baked bread.
Yes, this one feels more molasses, brown sugar, creme brulee. This one feels very like subtle. And this one's more baked bread and vanilla up front.
All right, 4?
Yep, number 4. Okay, now this one's more vanilla up front than the last.
Yeah. It's got more of an aroma.
It's like bananas Foster, and I'm not saying like a banana's, like a ripe banana peel, not aggressive banana, almost like totally different than like a Jack Daniel's banana, but like a pudding, like a vanilla pudding, Bavarian cream almost.
Yes. So like a banana pudding, the bananas were added a vanilla cream. I hear what you're saying.
And glazed donuts, I get like that Krispy Kreme sweetness to it, confectioner sugar. Wow.
It's not the burnt sugar, but I think more the confection sugar.
Are you getting any of that cherry note? I'm not getting on this one.
I got more cherry, I think, in the third one.
The third one. Yeah. Man, less citrus. I feel like the first one had more citrus to it than these so far.
I love smelling whiskey.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Which one's my favorite?
Number 5.
All right. I it's funny, like number 2 is the one that it's going to be my least favorite so far. I'm already picking favorite.
Yeah, I agree. This one I got like butterscotch, which is weird.
Here's the cherry. This is the cherry.
This is the cherry, yeah.
Yeah, and the butterscotch.
Butterscotch. Like the first thing I smelled was butterscotch.
More orchard fruits, red fruits on number 5. Less vanilla. It just feels more fruit forward than the others. For me, anyway. And yeah, more orchard, more fruit forward. Matter of fact, some of the other stuff, like the vanilla, is more subtle.
But it still surprises me how different they all are.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have kind of expected them to be a little, but they're so different.
Yes, I totally agree. I almost expected them to be very difficult
Yeah.
to pick any differences among them.
On the nose, especially.
On the nose.
Especially. I 100% agree with that.
Now, the taste might totally be different. You might have dynamic opposites once you get to that taste. Huh. This feels more astringent.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know if it's maybe I'm on the sixth smell. I'm not getting a lot right now.
No.
Now, if like I'm going to smell my hand, but they say that's your ground zero. A lot of people use coffee beans and different things. You know, it all works, but I don't walk around with coffee beans in my pocket when I'm smelling whiskey all the time.
No.
So, but you can always smell yourself, and that's your ground zero, and that's supposed to reset your smell.
That's actually not a bad idea. We should start marketing like a little tiny burlap sack of coffee beans. What do you think?
Yeah.
For the whiskey enthusiast.
Yeah.
A little burlap sack of coffee beans.
Whiskey nerds.
What would you do if you saw some guy without a
Pull coffee beans out of their pocket.
Yeah.
Like, that guy.
Excuse me, fellas.
You know what I'd say? I'd say, I need to go talk to that guy.
Yeah. I want one of them little burlap sacks. I'm going to start marketing that.
This one is more astringent. I'm not getting as much on the nose.
No. And you know what? There's a fruit, like a cherry note to it, but it feels sharp. Number 5 felt more like rounded. And when I typically think of like a good tasting fruit, it's nice and ripe, ready. You know, when you taste it, it's ready.
Yeah.
It's so ready.
Yeah.
This one feels more sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost not quite ready to eat or to be picked. But I am getting that red, like a red fruit.
Yeah.
Almost like a candy fruit, like red vines. Where it's not quite fruity, but you know, like it's got a little bit of that fruit taste to it.
But I'm not getting some of the notes that we got in the earlier ones.
I think I know what this is just based on experience. But I don't want to give it away till the end.
It's this one or this one?
I think I know what number 2 is.
I think I know what number 2 is too. All right.
So we're going to taste. You ready?
All right.
So going back to the far right, I'm ready to taste. I'm just going to coat the glass a little bit on the inside again. It will help bring out those aromas to the nose. All right. Cheers.
Cheers, my man.
Here we go. Oh, that feels like candy. That feels like candy.
It's sweet, easy to drink, mouth-watering, long mouth-watering finish. I'm sorry I had to go right to the finish because that finish was really, really good.
I get caramel covered apples, like from the state fair, on this taste. Like that's my first.
I always have to go back in
jumps
for a
out.
second. So
Yeah. More orchard fruit than like berries, red fruits.
yeah,
Anything like that.
it's higher in proof.
I think so. Yeah. Going back to it, the first time, not as much. It was warming. Now I feel the heat.
Yeah.
The heat's like sticking to the tongue now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't want to get too stuck on one.
But I'll drink a glass full of that.
Yeah. And yeah. I think I have an idea what that one might be.
The fruit came through. The sweetness came through in the front of the palate. Then that spiciness hit toward the end, which is, I think, indicative of more of the alcohol than, because you don't get the spiciness in a wheat as much.
That's right.
As you do in a lot of regular bourbons that are high rye. Yeah,
I'm not getting like the telltale signs of a traditional bourbon. Anise, some black tea, baking spices, maybe some of that cinnamon burn. Just feels like more minty.
Yeah.
More minty, more ginger forward.
All right. Number 2?
Yeah. Yeah, number 2 on the nose, a whole lot more subtle than the others.
Yeah.
Light, but tastes good. It tastes good. I like
A
it.
little of that creme brulee in there. It is lighter. It's you can taste the proof is a little lower.
It is lower, but surprisingly astringent on the taste.
It is astringent on the taste. I thought
Compared
the
to
same
this
thing.
one, I can tell this is higher proof.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be a fool if I'm proven wrong, but this feels more astringent, but less heat.
This could be one of 2 because I know one of these drinks outside of its proof a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, we have the 107 in full proof, so you know it could be one of those two.
The 12
maybe,
comes
or
in
the 12. Let's see.
I don't have my glasses. I can't
That's
see.
okay. 45.
Oh, 90. Okay.
Yep. So I think Special Reserve, correct me if I'm wrong, is 45 too? Yep.
Yeah.
45.
And the single barrel. The single barrel is 97.
Okay.
So
So just a slight
check that
touch
one too. I think it's
above
90.
Yep. This is 95.
95.
So these two are the same proof, right?
Yep.
95. This is 114, which is full proof. And if you're wondering why full proof and not barrel proof, this is basically proofed at the same strength that it was rested in the barrel. When it was poured into that barrel to just let sit and age, that was the proof that it went in, also referred to as entry proof. Now, the 12-year, again, was that? Yep, 90 proof. So 45. Yeah. So, all right, I'm ready to go into number 3.
Number 3.
Number 2 so far is not my favorite. Like, that's kind of how I'm trying to
Yeah,
go about
I moved this one a little further closer to me. That's to help me out with to remember. By the time I get done drinking 6 whiskeys.
Yeah. It's always fun drinking 6 whiskeys, isn't it?
We did get small pours, but
It's even more fun when you get to drink 6 Wellers. I like the nose. Again, this feels candied and orchard fruit. This one feels more like ice cream, like a vanilla bean.
Yeah.
A vanilla ice cream or something like that. Toasted marshmallow, if you will.
easy to drink. Sweetness on the tongue. Some of that light brown sugar.
Oh, wow. So number 3. Number 3 is what I think of when I go camping and I'm breaking up the s'mores. I'm already toasting that marshmallow and I get that little bit of toast going on that thing, and I'm just sitting there by the fire and my mouth is watering because I know what I'm about to taste. That's what this reminds me of, that toasted marshmallow by the campfire.
That has a very long finish on it as well.
Yeah,
like
a bit surprisingly sticky, if you will. Yeah,
it hangs around.
Different. Definitely different from number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 just feels good, but you're about to go into something a whole lot better.
It's not complex.
Nope.
1 was complex. 3 was a little more complex. 2, I don't think was as complex to me. All right.
Here we go. Number 4. The nose on number 4 is becoming my favorite. It's becoming my favorite.
Oh, it's killer, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's sultry, sticky, sweet, and it does have a little bit of. It has a little bit of spice, or at least more heat than the others.
Heat, but the complexity's in this one too.
Yeah. I feel like this takes me different places.
Yeah, this is one you want to spend a little time with.
Something tells me that number 4 is the full proof. Number 4's might likely be the foolproof. The heat is staying there. It's giving you a good Kentucky hug.
Yeah.
Man, the return, at first, that first sip just kind of warmed up the palate. The second sip started really warming up the chest.
Yeah, there's some complexity in this thing too. It's deep. Mm-hmm. There's layers in this one.
So far, number 4 3 and 4 are the ones that I'm favoring. Number 1 is good too. Don't get me wrong. This might be hard to pick my top.
It's gonna be fun though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun. And it's taken me a while to collect all these. So
yeah. How long did it take you, by the way?
I've had this bottle of Foolproof. When I bought it, I bought 2. The guy got his barrel in. He said, it's coming tomorrow. I'll come back and I'll sell you 2. I said, okay. And I did. I bought 2 bottles. And that was about 3 years ago. So
I'm glad that you brought me.
Yeah.
You got me the other one.
I love to share the calendar, not in 21, but in 2020, we do an advent calendar with AWS. I had just enough Foolproof and I put it in there in the advent calendar. So several people have gotten to try it. So
by the way, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, because most people, if they get that, they're keeping it to themselves.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So is this the second bottle? Mm-hmm. This is what's left?
Yeah, that's the last one I have.
All right.
And we just opened it, so now I can drink it.
Okay.
I've been waiting for a special occasion to open it, so.
Well, thank you. This is the special occasion. Yeah. Hanging out with your good friend Israel.
That's right. I agree. All right, number 5.
Number 5, yeah. Sorry. I digress.
This nose is great, too. Look at that vanilla.
Mm-hmm. Man, this has got less heat, but it's bold and sticky on the palate as well. I can just sort of guesstimate that this is not... It's definitely not your special reserve. It's not the Foolproof, but it's up there. So it might be the single barrel, or it might be the 107. Number 5. That's just my guess.
It could be C.Y.P.B.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because this is 90?
It's 90.
It's 90.
And yeah, it definitely could be that. This is such an easy drinker. This one is crazy easy to drink.
All right, so let's move on to number 6.
Number 6.
Oh man, this smells great.
Yeah, but based on the others, this is a little thin in the mouthfeel. It's delicious, but
thinner,
lighter.
This feels like candy too again.
Yeah, it's sweet.
1 and 6 feel like candy. No, this one really feels like candy. Now that I think about when we were nosing these, this one really stood out like a red vine.
Yeah.
A red hot, like it has a bit of cinnamon, almost like a hot tamale, but just a faint amount, not something super warming or anything like that. But I'm gonna take a second sip. It feels like candy though.
I'm already going back and trying to figure out my rankings.
Well, I know which ones are not my favorite. That I can't tell you. So these 2, for now,
mine were the same.
These 2 are not my favorite.
2 and 6 are going to be at the bottom. They're going to be 5 and 6.
Yeah. Number 2 is my... Yeah. Number 2 would be like the bottom of the 6 lineup.
I think I'm there with you. I think number 6 is slightly better than... It's better than 2. It's better than... Yeah.
Yeah, better than 2. Oh man,
I'm gonna start
number 1.
I'm going to start putting mine in order.
Yep. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at this point, we've already tasted them, right? Together. Yep. So let's do that. So this one would be my 6. So my bottom is on the left.
Mine is 2.
So my top
6.
rank will be on my right, or your
6,
on your
5,
left as
4.
you're watching.
Okay.
Oh, that is a lovely nose. Going back to number 1 after trying these.
Let's be honest. We can't go wrong with any of these, right? I mean, they're $20-something up to... I only paid like $100 for that, so I didn't overpay drastically for the Foolproof. But I did overpay a little bit from what regular retail is.
Right. The 107, I have a bottle. I purchased it for about $55-$60. And that was just like 3 years ago. But I don't recommend spending more than $65-$70. If you look on secondary market, if you look online right now, this guy right here, easily $800 on up. And then the 12-year, my goodness. I can only imagine. This one right here is at least a couple $100, $400, $500. And then the single barrel, because it's so rare, that one might be the most expensive. Either the C.Y.P.B or the single barrel will be the most expensive because it's just the hardest to find and rare.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go back to this because I did a whole bunch of talking just now. I like what's going on, but I like the others better. So far I'm just going to kind of move this over for now and then move on to the others, cleanse the palate real quick.
I've got mine all mixed up.
This one's very approachable. Very, very much something that I think your average drinker will easily fall in love with, whatever this is. So this one is also not as high as what I'm expecting the other ones to taste like. Okay, we're getting down to the last two, at least for me.
I've not got mine figured out yet.
Houston, we have a winner. I think this one's up there for me. So it's going to be my top two. Top two for sure. Now this is getting a little harder to pick out favorites just because these are part of the same family, if you will, right? They all have somewhat of those similar qualities and character to it.
Yeah. I think...
Last one.
All right.
This one's got a lot of heat. This one would take time exploring. So I'm going to put this as my number 2, my number 1, and I'm going to choose between my 3 and 4. All right.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I'm about there.
It gets tough. It gets tough, honestly.
I don't even know what these are anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
I need to redo the entire thing.
We need to start over. Okay.
Nope. I picked
these
two, and I actually might shift my number 2 and 3. We'll see.
Well, I'm about out, so I guess I'm done.
All right, this is for science, guys. So I'm just going to take a quick nip. This will decide between number 2 and 3.
I got a little palate issue right now.
Okay, that one definitely moved up in ranks. So I'm down to my 1 and 2.
1 and 2?
1 and 2. Let's see how this turns out. Oh, that is lovely. That's going to be tough. I'm going to go back to this one, and if it doesn't beat out number 1, it is what it is. Okay, guys. So for those of you watching, we're really trying to figure out our ranking from number 1 to 6, and this is like an enjoyable moment for me, but it's also like challenging because they all taste good.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
One of these things where you need like all day to do this. I'm a little torn.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I got it. There's my 1 through 6.
I'm gonna have to leave them like this because I'm out.
Now 1 and 2. I'll just full disclosure. My 1 and 2 could easily swap places depending on my mood, but I don't know what these are. So what we'll do is we'll just have to caption it on the video. Let's look at your number 1. My number 1 has got 2 blue dots. 2 blue dots.
See. Mine's got 2 yellow dots.
2 yellow. My number 2 is 2 yellow.
I got a green.
Okay. So our number 1 and 2 swapped.
Yep. Well, no, I had a green.
My number 3 is green.
I think my 2 blue. This was my 2 blue.
Okay. My number 3 is green.
My number 3 is the 2 blue.
My number 4 is 1 yellow dot.
1 yellow dot.
5. Red.
Red.
Oh wow. Isn't that funny? And then of course number 6.
It's 1 blue.
1 blue.
All right. So we had. What was your number 4?
Our number 1 and 2 swapped. So 2 blue.
No, I had
2 blue is my number 1.
Yeah, you had 2 blue. I had 2 yellow.
2 yellow. My number 2 is 2 yellow.
I had 1 green.
All right. So we don't know which one's what. So let's look at now like what's at the bottom of these. So
red.
This is red. The C.Y.P.B.
I had it second to the last.
Second to last.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put that here for now. That's gonna go here. So put your red right there, and then
leave it right here for now.
This is actually the Antique 107 is 2 yellow, and I think
it was my favorite.
that was my number 2. Yep. So this is I'll put my number 2, and then we'll put your number 2. Okay. So real quick, 2 blue.
2 blue. Yep.
Foolproof.
Yep. 2 blue.
Green is this guy, the 12 years. So this is my number 3. The yellow.
Number 3.
The yellow is number 4. That can't be right. That was my number 6. I think I screwed this all up, didn't I? And blue
was
that's that. So for those of you watching, I predicted as I was tasting that the Special Reserve was just going to be the thinner of the bunch. It was just going to have less complexity just because it's more the bottom shelf version of the Weller lineup. It ended up being our number 4. It beat out C.Y.P.B. and Single Barrel. 2 of the hardest to find Wellers.
And I'm not surprised. When I first got this Single Barrel, I was very disappointed when I first tried it. I thought it's okay whiskey, but I've made the statement more than once. When I run through this, I won't hunt down another one. Now, if I walk in a store and it's on the shelf for retail, I will totally buy it, but I will not go search and hunt for another one.
Would you wait in line 8 hours or more for that bottle?
No.
What about the C.Y.P.B.?
I would for these. I would for these 2. Actually, I would for this one. I might for the C.Y.P.B. just because my wife loves it so much.
Okay.
And it's so hard to find.
Now, I went into this expecting that the C.Y.P.B. and the Foolproof would be my top 2. That's and then going into number 3 would be like the 12-year or the 107 or something like that.
I had preconceived ideas of what mine would be. I was thinking just from, people say, what's your favorite? It would have been Foolproof, then 107, then 12, and then probably C.Y.P.B., Single Barrel. These could flip, but this would have been at the end. 100%. It would have been at the end.
Yep. How in the world did these 2 bottles, the ones that are probably some of the most highly sought after, how did they make it to the bottom of the 6, like of the family lineup here?
Yeah, I think a lot of it goes to complexity as well. I think you have a lot more. There was definitely the top 3 that had more complexity by far than the bottom 3. These were thinner, weaker, still really good drinkers. And the green we can get here in Albuquerque pretty easily. It makes a great cocktail. So I think it really is about complexity for the top 3. The 12, the Foolproof, and the 107.
Yeah, and if you guys have tried any of these, please leave a comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you happen to have all 6 of these and you've done something similar, hey, let us know what you think, because I'm interested to see what your top 6 would rank as, you know,
Totally.
and these are blind, so I didn't, like, even though I had expectations, I gave you an honest opinion.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So, all right, guys. Daniel, thanks again for bringing these.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
You are a gentleman,
friend.
a scholar, and a great friend, by the way.
Thanks, Israel.
And thanks for stopping by, guys. Here at Whiskey One, we really appreciate all the support and all the love that you show us. Again, from our family to yours at the Whiskey Society, here at Whiskey One, it's about the one you enjoy. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Shut up and sit down.
The novice.
The novice.
That didn't look right. All right, here we go.